Hi, Lisa Schermerhorn here, and welcome to my show where truth lies. And I'm thrilled to have you here. If you are interested in life-changing patches that reverse aging, help you with pain, I literally just twisted my ankle and fell down my stairs. And if I didn't have these patches on, I don't know what would have happened. I put one for inflammation and one to rebuild stem cells, and I had very little pain. I was able to drive the next day to Montreal because I had an obligation. I had to be there 2.5 hours, and the swelling was way down. It's still bruised, but very little pain, and I know it would have been far worse. So if you are interested in these patches, please contact me. I can get you wholesale pricing and help you pick out the best patches for you. If you're interested in a wave watch, this is like a Rife machine for your wrist. I can get you $100 off on Mindset 100, and the links are below. And if you are in need of quantum healing for those people who are looking for help in physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, I do a quantum healing once a month with Honey C Golden. That's $44. And we have incredible results with that. Or if you're looking for one-on-one, I am a certified hypnotherapist and I work with the unconscious mind, and I love helping people. So if you're interested, please go to my website, lisamindset.com, and enjoy this interview. And Sophia is a delight. She's brilliant, and she's coming up with something really cool that I think everyone's going to want to be part of. Anyway, thank you so much and see you shortly. Hi, Lisa Schermerhorn here, and you're on the Grassroots Warrior Network, and this is my show where truth lies. And I'm thrilled and excited to have my dear friend, Sophia Eric, who we met a couple of years ago at an event, and we found out that we lived, what, a couple hours, 2 hours away from each other, and we've continued with our friendship, and we've worked professionally together, and she told me about this amazing company that she's been working on for a long time. This is not like an overnight thing. She's been working on this and something that she's very passionate about called Find Your Mentor. So welcome. I'm going to let Sophia talk all about it. So
Thank you.
welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, passionate is to say the least. It's my truly, I would say, my life. It's my life purpose culminated into a project. I would describe it that way, and I really have been working a long time on it, and it has just been getting better and better and more refined. So, yeah, I could. Where would you like me to start off?
Well, first of all, what is a mentor? Like, why is a mentor important?
That's such a good question. Uh, uh, we use mentor, the word mentor, as an umbrella term, which is really the understanding of the exchange of the give and take between learning and receiving, the giving and the receiving. And so a mentor is considered many things. For us, what we consider a mentor is somebody who is the one to give knowledge, to provide, to give any sort of wisdom that somebody else would like to receive. And mentorship usually is also rooted in friendship, and so it's like the relative or the friend who has experience. And we can have mentors briefly come into our life. We can have mentors for a long time that accompany us throughout our life. Friends become mentors. And I think actually we all are in some way mentors for and with each other. And so it's really the giving of information or help or support in any way. So that's really why we chose mentor as a word, because it beautifully envelopes the giving of something. And sometimes it's a book or a song, but in this case, it's just everything that is the giving process of information. And then we have the yes.
No, it just what flashed to me when you talk about that
Hmm.
is the give and take when I think about my dear friend Barry, who's an
Hmm.
incredible photographer and
Oh,
artist.
I love
So
her.
when I come into her studio and I work with her, she's mentoring me because that's her expertise. But when I'm working with her, dealing with any psychological issues as a coach, then I'm mentoring her. So you don't have to be an official mentor or, have an official title to be a mentor, correct?
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. I think if you're like, would you have a moment to sit down? I need to play something by you, or I need a sounding board, or do you have like
Uh-huh.
an ear for me? That person automatically is put into a situation that is important. It's meaningful. It's like, oh, this person needs me right now for whatever purpose. Or you see somebody who needs help and you're like, I have this urge to help them because I have a feeling I have something to give. And so I don't want to monetize that. And this sounds a little crazy because this is a project that will monetize,
Right.
obviously. That being said, the special thing about our platform is the ability of how we're establishing this give and take. Because the give, we're not monetizing the give of the mentor, because I believe that knowledge should be freely accessible to the world. We're specializing on how to find the right connection between people.
Right.
And so people can even give away knowledge for free without having to pay anything on the platform. We have, the name says it, findyourmentor.com is really, we're focusing on both parties, the one who is receiving, which is the finder, and the one who is the mentor, who is giving. And it's a freemium model, so it starts off really, everybody can onboard for free. And mentors can also choose to say, I just want to give away my knowledge, and that's fine for us. So we have the
That's
space and the
amazing.
capacity to do that. Yes, it's
I
important.
love that because not everyone has the resources initially, right? To start. So people can check it out and see
Absolutely.
what that is.
Yeah.
So, what makes this platform? Because this is something that I find so interesting. Being in the healing world, especially and being a coach, I've seen many people over the years want to put together platforms where people can just put their names on there. So it's one place where people can find you.
Mm.
What makes your platform different than any of the other ones?
Yes. Oh. I have put years of research into this exact topic and this
Yeah.
question. So, Find Your Mentor is a global movement, and it's designed to unlock hidden human potential intelligently with the help of very advanced technology, to match people with the exact mentor knowledge and or tools they need to grow. So it's kind of like, it's a growth hub, and it's also like an app store of human wisdom. So you're really paired with what it is that you need on your journey to become, to becoming, put it that way. So
So
it's a
it's kind of like a match.com, would you say, for mentors?
for wisdom and knowledge and for finding what it is you're looking for. Yeah. And it really is, it's interesting. I'm just thinking about it in a way I don't think I've ever thought about it before, because you just said that, which is match.com, or the dating apps do something very right that social media doesn't do, and or selling sales platforms don't do. They don't prior take the time to get to know the user.
Mm,
Huge mistake. Who are you? Why are you here? How can we serve you? Is the big difference. And that's the process that we've been reverse engineering and taking so long to hone in on and really understand, who are we dealing with. So when you come into the platform, it starts off with your own individual, very unique journey, because every human being is different, right? We all
right.
are on our own unique journey to becoming, and also understanding what makes us authentic. It's the really the digging up of the authenticity we have within ourselves. And we're in a way all finders, we're all mentors, so we're actually both.
Right.
We're just giving a different space for both because both are approached uniquely. So that's why we're both focused on both equally, but they're two separate paths in our perception.
No, they definitely are.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that you can say we can be both. So, in this, if someone wanted to become involved in this, let's say as a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
are they going to fill out, like, create a profile? What does that look
Yes.
like?
So actually on the 9th of September 2025 this year, we're going into our alpha launch, which means it's a private launch. So it's not for the public, it's a very closed launch. And that's where we're going to introduce the basics of what Find Your Mentor is offering. So as a finder and a mentor, you can register and you get a free profile. And the cool thing about the mentor is when you sign up, you get your own free public page. So you get to sign up and add the information that is relevant to you so that people can find you. So people going onto the platform can manually find you, and our unique matching software has the ability to match you and based on what the finder is adding to the system in regards to what they're looking for. So that's something that we'll be developing over time. It's going to get really refined, and that's going to be our secret sauce of how we do that. Um, the mentor, what we've discovered in our research is that 80% of all coaches in the world are not able to live off of what they're doing, and it's really sad. Why? Because they're not skilled at sales, they're not skilled at marketing, at technology. So when we take that away from the coach, the mentor, and we say, listen, we'll do the heavy lifting. All you do is focus on you as a mentor, honing your skills, and being of service. That's all we want you to do. We'll do everything else. We'll provide the payment options, the organization, the ability to communicate properly, the safe hub. And that's really what we're providing. In addition to that, we're offering the mentor a mentor academy. So that's really a hub for the mentor to build the business out and to properly and securely communicate with the finder. And the finder gets their own personal academy where they can follow and hold themselves accountable, but follow up on their personal development and their growth journey. And it's going to be so exciting what we have in store there for finders and mentors.
Wow. So if I, excuse me, so if I wanted to set up my own, profile, or what does the academy look like from the standpoint of for me to come in? What am I doing with that
Okay, so
academy?
you mean when you register as a mentor?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when you register as a mentor, the academy is yours. The Mentor Academy is for you personally as a mentor. So that's your place where you get to organize everything. Customer relation
Okay.
management tools. You can organize and you can structure and you can follow up on your client relationships, be they regardless of if you're monetizing them or not.
Okay.
Your public page is very special because it's free, and you get to take that link and you can share it anywhere. People that go on to Find Your Mentor can find you, and you can also take that link and let's say you add it to your link tree or you add it to Instagram or email address, and somebody that would click on it would find you on Find Your Mentor publicly and see you, Lisa Schermerhorn.
Okay.
And so it's just a really transparent way of saying, okay, we want to expose the mentors. And as I said, 80% really have broken websites. They don't know how to make the websites visible. So this is a way you can even add your website link and any other links you want to your public page. So it's a way to it's a way to portray everything you have. Books, you're an author. So all of the things that are important, which will automatically also be in the directory of Find Your Mentor. So let's say there's a match between your book and what a finder is looking for. Your book will be
Okay.
matched.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So this is so interesting. So is this SEO going to go beyond just Find Your Mentor if this is someone who's on Google and is searching? Is this going to be connected to a search engine outside of Find Your Mentor, or they have to go into Find Your Mentor to,
This
I'm
is a
just
real
curious how this
Yes,
works.
that's a really good question. Interestingly enough, AI engines are now taking over SEO.
Ah,
And
interesting.
so our main focus is the integrity of the mentor. So we're taking this very slowly as we're very careful of, first of all, the integrity, and then also the ability for the mentors to decide and how much do we expose the data outside of our platform. So we're not opposed to it. We're just very cautious because once you do that, you can't just take it back.
Right.
So we're just being very careful as to what do we expose to the outside world, because this area of mentorship is very delicate because there's a lot of very um, sensitive information, and we need to be careful of how protected our whole platform is, and then how and where do we open up to the public. So we're just very cautious at this point, and we're still really in the alpha phase.
Yeah.
So that's going to take about probably a month. Then we're going to close down, and we're going to give the opportunity for the people who have registered to help us with the platform and go through everything. This is going to take another month, and
Right.
then we're going to go into public launch, and we're going to open up to everybody. So
That's so
it's gonna,
exciting.
yeah, it is so exciting.
You really hit the nail on the head because for so many people, if you think about an artist, they love what they do. They love being the creative, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to have to learn marketing and sales and all that. It's very frustrating for people who have to devote so much time and energy to doing
Mm-hmm.
that and not
Mm-hmm.
getting to do what
Mm-hmm.
they're meant to do, what their skill set is.
Oh,
So this is such an amazing opportunity for people to start to bring in clientele that are matched because also I always say, I like to make sure that I'm communicating with people who were on the same page, correct?
mm.
Like, and this helps narrow down what the right people to find me.
We're also we're also giving the opportunity for people on Find Your Mentor who are looking for an expert for technology or for
Right.
AI or whatever it is that or social media marketing to find those people. So we're really just using modern technology to facilitate that connection, because if you need an expert for your
Right.
marketing, you can find that person too. Sorry, we have a real phone.
A real landline.
Wow.
That's okay.
Up in the Adirondacks.
No, but I love that because, this isn't just for coaches. These are for people who do all kinds of things. As you said, social,
Just a second.
yeah.
My mom didn't know when I was in an interview.
No.
I'm in the library. I'm so sorry. Okay,
No worries. Tell her I said hi.
I will.
I love her. So, no, it's amazing because you've got all kinds of resources here. It's not just coaches. You've got people of all different backgrounds. So this is really fascinating because a mentor can be anything, correct? So you can bring in artists, you can bring in um, sales and marketing experts, you can bring in whatever. So this is really open to everyone and anyone who's an entrepreneur
Yep,
or even a side business.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I feel like a big part of this mission is this might, I don't want to be leading away from, I guess, from this, not possibly this topic, but
Mhm.
it just really I keep on coming back to the actual reason why I decided to create this platform, and it was really out of a lack. I was never really satisfied with what I found, and I was always missing things. And I said, "Well, why is that?" Because there's such a growing need for people to come together, and I realized that we all have this underlying wish, and it's getting stronger and stronger in the world. You're such a good example of that. Um, it's the being of service to humanity and to each other. And also, for me, I also realized that a lot of people have this aha when they're like, oh, wow, what does it even mean to be mentor ready as a mentor or a finder? that's also a big thing of like, what does it mean to commit to a growth journey or to a path of what? What do I even want to commit to? It's the understanding, the becoming, the understanding of what is the becoming. Who am I? Which is, it's interesting because it's a very big part of one of the features on our platform. We're calling it the impact map, and the abbreviation is IAM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so this whole platform is really thought through in terms of how do we elevate a human being? How do we pull us all up into our potential? And that's what this platform is about. It's like we all have this untapped potential, and how do we access it? And who do we need for it? And some people might really want to just take the path of they don't want to work with somebody. Maybe they just really want to, they're into books. Like everybody has their own way
Right.
of learning too. And we see the whole growth, that the whole environment of the e-learning space, or the educational environment in the world, is changing anyway. And so we're in this journey as much as every user will be, and we're going to be learning with the users and from the users, because we don't know it all in this world that's accelerating so fast with everything in it.
And the other part of it is that's really important. And I was just reading this book by Marcia Martin. I have it right by Sex, Power, and Transformation.
Mm-hmm.
She was the power behind EST, if you remember that whole thing in Landmark. And she also launched Tony Robbins, and she helped
Oh,
launch Jack Canfield, and she was the marketing
geez.
genius behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting, and we were both talking about this, is that people tend to give their power away too
Mm-hmm.
easily. They
Mm-hmm.
find someone who they use as someone who's above them, and people don't go inward and find that they have their own genius. And so the
Who?
mentor's role is really about helping other people bring that out, not to create mini-me's,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
When I'm like, what is your gift? How do I help you and lift you to where you're at to go to the next level? You don't need to become a mini of me because my gifts are different than your gifts. And so this is about finding what that is. And I think it's really important for people to determine and use their own discernment as to when they work with someone that they're not giving their power away.
It's true. I feel the same way, having worked with mentors most of my life. The mentors that I valued the most were the ones who weren't in it for, they're in it to not reproduce themselves.
Right.
They're in it to bring forth something through themselves and to
Yeah.
elevate the other person and say, listen, what is it that I can bring out in you? How can I help you bring out
Yeah.
what's in you? And there's this sentence that we have going on in our minds too sometimes, where it's like, but who am I to do this? And so interesting because it has the I am in it. Who am I
Yes.
to do this? Well, I am to do this, but but what does that mean? Like, how can I really go for it? Can I really go for myself? Can I
Right.
can I stand behind myself? And sometimes it's the biggest challenge is being the one to be your biggest advocate, your friend, you're the one who loves you more than anyone else will, and in that way provide this safe space for yourself, and
Right.
saying, well, yeah. And that's been such a big journey for me personally, of even this platform has done so much to me, for me, to me sometimes it felt like, but mostly like for me. It's like, wow, who am I to do this? Because it's a global platform, and now I have a team. We're seven, two, three, four, five. We're six. Yes, with an assistant. So we're six
Wow.
co-founders, and that's no joke. Like, you've committed, 6 people have committed to now bring this forth. And we have some absolutely amazing people on board that we'll be portraying on the website as soon as the website goes live. Right now, it's just a landing page.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in anything regarding Find Your Mentor, the best thing to do really is send me an email at sophia@findyourmentor.com at this point.
Yeah.
When we go live, then obviously it's going to be easier on the platform. Just sign up. But I am so honored to work with the people I'm working with, and for everybody. Actually, Lisa, we were just talking about it at the beginning. You were the first person, I think, who ever publicly interviewed me about the concept of Find Your Mentor. Yeah, and here
Well,
we are. What is it? 7 days? No, what is it? 7 days before we go into our alpha launch, and here we
yeah.
are again.
Well, it's exciting. And I say, as someone who struggled as a child, I had learning disabilities and I didn't believe in myself. And I didn't know what I was good at. I hadn't discovered it yet. And I remember when I was in 7th grade,
Mm-hmm.
I was in art class and this teacher pulled me aside and she said, you're really an artist. I'm like, I am? And yes. And she
There's the I
believed
am.
in me.
Yeah.
And I've never forgotten her
Mm-hmm.
because she launched something inside of me that I didn't know I had, but she
Mm-hmm.
saw it. And that's to me what a mentor does.
Yes. Oh, so
And
beautiful.
what's really funny is my parents just moved. And when my sister and brother were going through their things, they found 2 pieces of artwork that I did when I was in her class from when I was 12.
Wow.
And they sent them to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having them reframed, but it brought back this like these were the pivotal moment of when I started to believe in myself. One person can do that, and it's it doesn't have to be as better off if it's not a parent or someone who's
Yeah.
close. That neutral party who sees that and says, I see this in you and
Mm-hmm.
I want to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Expand on that. Now, what's interesting is I have artistic abilities. I never went to art school officially for college, but I use my creativity in my work. And
Mm-hmm.
so it helped me launch that belief in myself of the creativity of working inside my head and coming up with things that are outside the box. And that's where, we've talked about the 9 whys where
Mm-hmm.
I'm a challenge. So
Mm-hmm.
challenge people, think outside the box. We're
Mm-hmm.
out of the box problems. I'm an out of the
Mm-hmm.
box problem solver. You are mastery. And so when I think about someone who's a mastery, you are exactly where in your purpose because you are literally mastery people are experts.
Mm-hmm.
They do research in every area.
And I
They
love it.
I know you do. She's a walking, talking encyclopedia. You are. And so you're almost like creating this mentor encyclopedia for the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it, actually.
Yeah.
Um, we have all these platforms that provide knowledge, but it's about, think about, you could take YouTube, you could take Instagram, you could take TikTok, you take any platform, and you think about the following. First of all, there's a huge challenge with language. It's not easy. If you don't speak the right language, you can't access that piece of information. The other thing is, and this is really, I have to be careful. There's so many things coming with Find Your Mentor that I have to be careful of. When do I mention this? Because they're so valuable, but they're so innovative, but so valuable. So think about Instagram. You go create an interview with somebody and you talk about this amazing conversation unfolds. And then it's recorded, it's in Instagram. Somebody else on Instagram has a question about something that was just answered in that interview. But you know what? Nobody will ever know how to bring those two together. Huge problem. So we have all this amazing information out there. And how do you make it accessible? Not just floating around in a cloud,
Right.
with a great thumbnail and some kind of description that may be AI optimized. But how do you bring those two together? And one could be in Australia, the other could be in Hawaii, whatever. And there could be a language barrier. So how do you solve that connection? That's really what we're focused on, is how do we solve that dilemma? And we've solved it. And that's,
Really?
yes, yes. And that's well, we had to first create the architecture for that. And so it's like now we get to go public and then roll out all of these features that will make life so much more easy for people to access what it is that they need to uncover, to find what it is they're looking for, and in that way find themselves. It's really about finding yourself, actually.
So interesting. So I'm curious, how do you, I mean, do you get involved in the language barrier as well using AI, or that's not where this goes?
Absolutely. The language barrier is something that will be actually very easily solved because the technology is out there. You just need to plug it into the right platform. So you could be coaching, you could be mentoring a person in French with
I
your
love
voice,
that.
speaking English. And they
I
could be
love
speaking
that.
back to you in French and it would be translated. Obviously, technology is getting better and better. So I don't know how good it will be at the beginning. I know that what they're working on is when you speak with your voice, your tonality,
Hmm.
there's the ability actually already for that to be translated in your tonality. How natural that sounds, I think that's something we're just, technology is
Right.
so fast.
Technology is.
I'm not worried about that.
It's so interesting because coming up in September, I'm going to Prague to speak at an event, and the woman who invited me is actually going to be translating for me. So I'm putting together my PowerPoint
Wow.
and asking AI to translate some of the
Mm-hmm.
captions for me
Mm-hmm.
so people can at least have an idea of what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. But to be able to do that in real time and to work with people, that expands my potential clientele exponentially.
Well, if you do that live, it's a little bit of a different situation because if you
Right,
have a translator, that translator can be very spontaneous.
right.
If that is recorded and you add that to the database that we have, then we'll be able to take that and dissect it into a format that will be able to be provided to anybody looking for that, depending on what their search profiles are.
Amazing.
Yes, it's so easy.
Amazing.
I mean, the technology's here. I'm like, what is everybody doing with it? Like, we have the solutions. It's just bringing it together. It's really
It's
not mysterious.
so this is extremely visionary and this is the future.
Mm,
For you to come out with something like this is really remarkable. And
mm,
I've known you for a couple of years, and I know that you're visionary in other things as well. Being and healing and quantum and things like
yes.
that. But before we go on to those topics, is there anything else about Find Your Mentor that we haven't covered that people need to know?
So, yes, I thank you for that opportunity. I would love to invite everybody because everybody is a finder and everybody, or let's put it this way, everybody has something to learn in this world forever and everybody has to teach in this world. And so we're really speaking to everybody right now above the age of 18 for now. And we would love to invite everybody to join and really join in this journey with us to make this platform the most valuable, most usable, user friendly, most amazing community, people learning community in the world. And I really do believe we have the potential for it. And we've created the architecture. We have the most fantastic team, and there is so much coming. There's a reason why this has been so long in the making because a lot of deep thought has gone into this. Um, and we're pulling in experts left and right. And the feedback we're getting about what we've created so far is mind blowing. It's almost like, oh my God, now that I know about the platform, why doesn't it exist like this yet? And I'm
Well,
like, I don't know. I'm just really, it's so funny. We look at other solutions and we're like, I'd like to take that. That's awesome, and then that's awesome, and let's add that. I look at it a little bit differently. I look at things and I'm like, what is not working? What are people missing? What makes them feel uncomfortable? And if you just focused on that, the other things are so obvious. The other things are less focused on, which for whatever reason I don't understand, because that's where the nuggets are in development and innovation. How do you take something that is not functional, that people are not focusing on? And I see all these platforms out there copy and pasting. When they come out, they launch. I'm like, that's a kind of a copy and paste with different colors than the other platform. It's not really a solution. So what I'm wanting to is to learn from others and also be someone to work and collaborate with others. I don't want to position ourselves as a competition. I want to position ourselves as something valuable, and we're all on this journey together. If there's another 100 Find Your Mentor like platforms that launch after us or with us, I'm glad, because humanity really needs as much support as we can get. There's so many mentors out there who are not found yet, or not connected, and so many who would like love to plug into something like this properly. So I think we can all learn with and from each other. So I really am not in a position of I don't believe in competition. I don't think it's natural.
Yeah.
I think we can copy and help each other. Yeah, so I could talk a lot about that, but
But
yeah,
I also love the idea where you talk about everyone can register, because people don't even know how much wisdom they have. Everyone is an
for sure.
expert in something, right? And there's always going to be someone who is going to need a little bit of what you have to offer.
Yeah.
And I always say, no one has your wisdom like you do. Being you is being the expert, because no one else has
Oh.
experienced, right, your
Mm-hmm.
life the way you have. And
Mm-hmm.
you have walked a path that no one else has. And you have certain wisdom that no one else has. And my wisdom may not be for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but the idea of someone who needs, for instance, 25 years ago, I had a nervous breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I went from therapist to therapist to therapist, and no one was helping me. So then I went and someone suggested hypnotist. So I became, and then I went on to become a hypnotist.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to study all of these different things, and kind of, there was no one to say, you should learn this, you should learn. There was no path. I
Mm-hmm.
had to kind of go out there and read all these books and figure out what I needed to learn, first of all, to heal myself, and then to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And so the gift in that is that I feel like I've become the person I was looking for 20 years ago or 25 years ago,
Right.
searching for all of this
Mm-hmm.
wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have all of that for anyone who needs that. And I'm always adding to the toolbox. But I think what people have to understand, there may be other mindset coaches, and they're all going to have slightly different expertise.
Yeah.
And so when you think you need a particular expertise, this is a great way to really discern who's the right person for you.
Absolutely. I mean, I used to, when I advise clients with marketing, I used to say, I guarantee you, you have a following and you have clients.
Mhm.
You already have them. The problem is closing the gap between being found, being you are already there. It's
Right.
how do they find and see you? So I think we already have the right people out there that match what we have to give. It's just about how do they find us?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
No, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I know how hard you have worked on this and trying to get the right technology at the right, and it couldn't have been better timed from the standpoint. I understand your frustration of how long this has had to go, but it's also finding the right technology. And with AI and everything that's out there now, there's such
Oh, this is
unlimited tapped potential.
incredible times to launch something like this.
Yeah.
It's also important that AI is not a mentor. It cannot be a mentor. The topic of AI is highly interesting for me, because I feel so, geez, it's a big box to open, the whole topic of AI, and so many people are
Mhm.
fearful as well. Thinking about just the term in artificial intelligence, the word intelligence. We
Right.
need to be careful that each time we're using AI, we're teaching it. The question is, what and how are we teaching AI
Right.
about humanity? We really have to work on ourselves. We should be less concerned with AI and more concerned about ourselves right now, in my opinion, because I don't see AI as a danger unless we don't treat it properly. We don't contain it. We don't turn it into something that serves, versus when you're afraid, you can turn something really into your worst enemy.
Right.
Fear is a big weapon that we can turn against ourselves, and that's what we call self-sabotage. We really have to be careful. So it's about the learning, and on our platform, AI, the whole concept of AI is nothing that we are we are putting at the forefront, because at the forefront are human beings that we're matching. So do we use AI? Yes, where we need it, but to
Right.
serve, and it's not replacing the mentor.
Well, you know what? We are creators.
Mm-hmm.
We are inventors.
Mm-hmm.
AI is just finding information that's already out there
Mm-hmm.
and reciting it. It's doing the research for you. But it's very important for people to understand that we are the creators. And if we rely too much on AI, I agree, you start to lose the human touch. You lose that spark that makes us divine, that makes us
Yes, divinity.
unique,
Yes,
the
yes.
divinity.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then in talking about that, you also do a lot of work with other things. I mean, this is very quantum.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about this, this is quantum in the way that you're bringing people together. You're matching their energy fields, really,
Mm-hmm.
in the quantum realm. And so you've done that work in the healing and asking questions. You've really immersed yourself in this whole quantum
Yeah.
universe. So I'd love you to talk a little bit about that, because I mean, you and I have talked about how you tap in to your own you tap into your own inner wisdom using really unique
Mm-hmm.
techniques.
Mm-hmm. That I again learned from other mentors
Yeah.
that were and I took it and transformed it into my own. And I didn't realize it until I was doing it, actually, what I was doing. And then it took me years to accept what I was doing.
Mm,
I was like, it's kind of a coincidence, but what is happening? And so, I mean, it really started when I was in a very difficult place with myself. I was very challenged with a family situation, and had to do with custody, and it was family situation with child involved and all kinds of things. And I was very, very challenged because at that time I noticed how I was struggling with myself in terms of self value, self belief. And for the sake of peace, my biggest saboteur back then, which I have worked on, I had done a test back then, was being a people pleaser. So no wonder I was pleasing for the sake of peace and balance and no disruption, to my detriment, but not only to my detriment, but the detriment of my son. And I didn't realize it back then. I just noticed things are not going the way they should go. We're not as happy as we should be. Well, so, and I was dealing with health issues. And so I started my journey working with a mentor, going to a doctor. It was back in Germany. And this doctor was specialized in the area of preventive medicine. And one day I walk into his practice, and he had been doing all these amazing things, detoxing and all kinds of things with me and my son. And I walk in, and on his desk, this little tiny device, like this. And I'm like, what is that? So fascinating, because he was already doing something with me called bioresonance analysis, which is with the help of technology, you can basically scan the body. It has to do with frequency. So with frequency, you're actually tapping into every cell and measuring the what is called the bioelectric field of a cell, and then you can figure out what is out of balance, and then you can also tap into why. Anyway, so he was like, "Oh, it's basically my machine here, my medical machine in a pocket format. It's really new. I haven't used it yet." I'm like, "What?" And I said, oh, and I took it. I said, could I look at it? And I said, he's like, yeah, here's my phone. He was treating my son. He said, here's my phone. Here are 2 apps. You can play around with it. And I was like, wow, thank you. And so I was mind blown. I went onto YouTube, saw a video, and I was like, oh, are we in the future already? Like, how is this possible? And I realized this device could do what he was doing as a doctor, but without me having to be a doctor. So I could scan myself. It would spit out an analysis and tell me where am I energetically out of balance, and provide the programs to get me back into balance. And so I asked him, I said, would you allow me to come whenever you're not using this device, sit in your patient room, like the waiting room, and work on myself like for an hour or something, and then go again? He said, yeah, but I won't charge you. That's okay. It's fine. I don't even know how this thing works yet. And so I was like, oh my God. So I contacted 2 experts who told me how to work with this. That was the beginning journey of me realizing that how things actually work medically. Like it filled so many gaps of why things were out of balance. So I was dealing with paranoia, which doesn't even sound real to me at this point. I was
It's
in
not. That's
fear.
why it's paranoia.
Makes sense. I had
Sorry.
insomnia. Well, it's true. Makes sense. I had insomnia. I was a nervous wreck. I had physical symptoms, like heavy physical symptoms. I had eczema, like really bad. And this device fixed me in 21 days. All of it, all of it.
Amazing.
It just brought me back to being myself. And I started from then on. I kept on working with this device. I got my own, and I realized, oh my God, this is not only is this accessible for everyone, but this is modern medicine. This is modern science. Like, this is what has been buried by big pharma.
Yeah.
At this point, I think we can say these things on
Yeah.
YouTube, right? Yeah. So I was like, well, wow. So this is the actual real, for me, the most inspiring thing about technology is this is what technology can also do. It can help us heal. And it's kind of a crutch, because I feel like we have these abilities that we can get with these devices. Well, we're sadly not living in a perfect world.
Right.
Shit happening all the time. It could be an earthquake in Afghanistan that happened like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
completely unexpected. It could be a storm. It could be we were hit by a tornado. Shit happens, and you're exposed to this in a way where you were probably not prepared, while you have other things going on, and school and kids and family and relationships and all kinds of things. And so until we're at a point where we have things calmer in this world, where we have a healthier, where we understand how to nurture Mother Earth properly and nurture ourselves properly, until then we do need help. We need all the help we can get. And humanity is waking up to the state of suffering. We're waking up to the state of suffering we're in. And it's detrimental, because it's like, wow, first of all, the waking up is very painful. And now what? Who is there to help me?
Right.
Who can help me? And it's a very scary process to wake up.
It
And you know all
can
about
be.
that.
Yeah, it can be. And also, it's also what people have to understand when you say the words I am,
Hmm.
we are creator beings. Our thoughts create things. And I have now, because I have released so much negativity in my
Hmm.
life and I've forgiven so much and I'm becoming more of a clear channel, that I'm almost manifesting instantly. And so
Wow.
soon we're actually going to be able to, we actually have the ability to heal ourselves, but people aren't there yet. So they're using these other tools in order to help them get there.
Hmm.
But even to a point where I was invited to Prague for an event, and it was going to be September 20th to speak. And then I found out that a whole bunch of friends of mine were going to an event in Ireland on the 20th. And I
Hmm.
thought, gee, that's too bad. I would love to see them, as long as I'm in Europe, because flying within Europe, it would be like $75 to fly from Czech
Hmm.
Republic to Dublin. I I was like, wow, it would be really nice if I could go to Dublin. I get a message from the woman in the Czech Republic says, I don't know if this is going to work for you now, but I just found out that the date of our event has been changed to the 18th. And this was something that was planned for months, right?
Wow.
So now I'm going, speaking on the 18th, leaving the 19th, and flying to Dublin.
Oh, wow.
And then the movie that I'm part of, Zero Limits with Joe Vitale,
Hmm.
they're having a film festival in southern Spain. So I'm talking to a bunch of my friends in Ireland, and all of a sudden they're like, just wanted you to know we're going to go to southern Spain, Marbella, the same town as the film festival.
Marbella? The
Yes.
same town what?
They were going to Marbella. I was asked to go to Marbella to the film festival at the same time. So this is how we create, we manifest things. And yeah, go ahead.
When are you going to Marbella? Because I have one of my dearest friends in Germany. She has her husband runs the biggest, one of the biggest like beach locations. I need to hook you guys up. Oh my goodness, she has the best, beautiful organic restaurant.
All right, well, I'll be there at the end of September.
Oh, okay. I'll hook you guys up.
But here's this is what
Wow,
happens. It's
I
like
know.
everything keeps showing up.
Mhm,
Everything that I need keeps showing up.
mhm,
And so this is how abundance works.
mhm.
So in using and working with mentors to clear what's in your way, either using like you have this technology that you use to clear however you do it, to clear all those negative beliefs and then allow yourself to become a full channel. And
Yes,
yeah, and then when
that's
you
the next
become
step.
the full channel is when you are a creator being creating your life
Well,
manifest.
you become this device then because you
Yes.
are the device. We
Yes.
invented this device was created by a human being.
Yes.
We have this technology within us, built within us. It's just
Yes.
it's like the sometimes we need to see something without to realize that this was us all along. This is
Yes.
us. And so the question you asked before, I developed this thing in combination with this device and then with my mentor of more and more tapping into my inner wisdom. And then I realized she made a suggestion of how to do something. She didn't have time. I needed something resolved. She said, I don't have time, but she sent me a description over a voice message of how I could tap into it myself and figure out what my truth, like what my body was saying about, is this true or not true? Should I do this? Should I not do this? And I was like, oh Lord, that's a big ask. Like, who am I?
Right.
Right?
Who
Yeah.
am I?
So I just followed her steps and it totally worked out. And I was like, oh, I really feel this, right? So a couple weeks later, I talked to her and I said, well, I looked at something again. And she's like, what do you mean you looked at it? What did you do? And I described it to her. And she was like, I've never heard of that method. And I was like, no, it was the description you sent me. And she's like, no, that's not what I sent you. And I was like, what happened there? So it was kind of like glitch and something inside of me turned it into my own.
Oh, wow.
And that's what you've seen me do, which is tapping into energy fields while using my body. And then
Yes.
I started this little like journey of experimentation where I had a friend and she was like, I'm pregnant. And I was like, would you like to know if it's a boy or a girl? She's like, I really want to. So I said, okay, let me tap into it. And we were in her beauty salon. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be a boy, then you're going to get a girl, and then you're going to get a boy again. I don't know where it came. Like I could feel it, and
Yep.
this is what happened with her. And then I realized, okay, this is not foresight. This is not. I am. I'm. This is not predicting. It's not looking into the future. It's tapping into the energy that has or tapping into the highest probability. What carries the most weight energetically. It's not
Right.
magic.
It's the
We all have
field.
it. Yes,
It's the
it's the
field.
field.
It's
We're
already in
surrounded
there.
by it. It's
Now
the
we all
quantum
have,
field. Yeah,
right, but we also have free will, right?
yeah, yeah.
So there is that. That's
It
why
can change at any time.
right, and that's why
Yeah,
it's probability. But what's
yeah.
interesting is we all, how many people get those things you call them goosebumps, God bumps, or whatever?
Hmm.
those are confirmations.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, I just got that feeling.
Yeah.
That's the confirmation.
Yeah.
So everyone has an internal yes, everyone has an internal no, and then there's an internal doesn't matter neutral, because in certain cases it doesn't matter if you turn left or you turn right. It doesn't matter because you have free will.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times when we want to ask, is this the right thing for us?
Mm-hmm.
And the right thing isn't always something that's happy and joyful. Sometimes the right thing is a lesson.
Yeah.
But I think about, using your body,
Mm-hmm.
using your own feelings, and getting tapped into them. The more you do it, the faster that information starts to come.
And that's the empowerment process that you were talking
Right.
about. Not giving away your power, but starting the journey of trusting yourself.
Exactly.
Mm.
Because you can use a pendulum. You can use, it's a form of dowsing, and you can use all
Mm-hmm.
these things. But here's the thing. If you want a certain outcome,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to create it. You can override, and I've been notorious for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the key is that when you ask a question, you have to get out of your own way and allow the answer to come, and not try and manipulate and control the answer.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. I love that. We have it within us. We have the answers within us. We often are just overridden by belief systems and fear
Right.
and all those things, as voices that are telling us, well, it's not for you, and who are you? And it's our, we have the God connection built into us. We have everything we need. We are who we were looking for. And I love Craig Braden is a big person to keep on saying
Yeah.
that. And I love listening to him. He's such an amazing scientist. He's kind of like the Dr. McCullough in science.
He is. I find him so interesting because was it he wrote the God Code? Was that his book?
I'm not sure. I have not read any books of his yet.
Okay, so there was something about the fact that we have
Probably
the
the God
in
DNA, I
in
think.
our in
I
our
think it's the, yes,
DNA,
yes, yeah.
actually the word that God is actually
Yes,
written into our
yes,
DNA.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So he's really really fascinating. But so we are, and so instead of giving your power away, it's about learning to go inside. And that's where a good mentor will teach you how to find your own answers,
Yes, how to go within,
how to
how
go
to
within.
strengthen that. Yeah, yeah. And that's the potential. The
Yes.
potential is actually that God-given DNA that we have built into us that will allow us to, we came here with a purpose. I firmly believe that
Yeah.
before we're born, we make a decision on a soul level as to what we
Yeah.
want to experience and how, and the things we attract. And we're on a mission here. We're all on a
Right.
mission. The question is, what is the mission?
Right. And even in the case when you think about, well, if I want to learn art,
Mm-hmm.
how, someone's going to teach me techniques. Yes, they're going to teach you technique, but my tree is going to look different than your tree,
Mm-hmm.
because that has come from within. And I remember when and I wrote this in my book. It startled me because my daughter was in a Montessori school, and her teacher gave them kind of the sky's the limit. They had certain parameters, but they were allowed to really create, and she had a fantastic art teacher. And my son came home. He was in the public school, and he came home with a sailboat. And I was like, this is really good. I'm going to have it framed. And then there was a local art show, and I brought it framed, and I went to bring it to hang and to show as part of the kids' art show. And I looked around, and there were 10 other sailboats that looked identical. So they were taught
Oh,
how to draw that sailboat so that they all looked the same. And I thought to
wow.
myself, as someone who's a creative and an artist, I was like, that's not art. It is art, but you're not teaching someone to have the potential of experimenting and creating. And I just found that as such a metaphor for life, is that we
Mm.
have that untapped. And that teacher who did that for me, who pulled me aside and said, you're an artist,
How precious.
it changed my life. And so we have the opportunity to do that for each other. Being it gardening, I mean, I've watched friends of mine who are master gardeners, and they have these magnificent gardens. And
Mm.
I'm still growing things, not what I Not what theirs looks like, but they have this certain way. And and
Mhm.
that's when I love to learn from other people. What's your secret?
Yes, and it's not about competition, it's about growth.
No, it is
Yeah.
about growth. We're
I mean,
sharing.
me being having gone to like I started off in the well for the most part of my schooling years, I guess I was in a Waldorf school, so it's very Montessori and Waldorf. And
Right.
some aspects are very similar. And I remember we started off with these they were like block crayons in a certain color, and you wouldn't learn a technique. You would first of all you would start with just understanding how to use a color on a piece of paper, and they would approach it differently. And I think that's what the Montessori school does as well. It's not, you don't learn the technique of how to draw a line from A to B. You start off with the feeling and the colors, and then you learn color theory by Goethe, and you understand like what effect does one color have on the other, and it's more about feeling into something, and then from that you go into the technique. And it's about really, if you think about it, when we also we don't start off in the head, we start off in our hearts. Children are heart centered, and then at one point we go up into the mind and we get all caught up there, and that's where we usually need a mentor to get back out down into our heart.
Exactly.
Like, oh Lord.
To reconnect with
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Same thing with art. I think is the art is very heart connected.
It's
Um,
very,
yeah.
in talking about Barry, who's an incredible professional photographer, Barry
Mhm.
Fisher, and I will stand next to her and we'll both be looking at the same thing and we take what I think is going to be the same photo. And hers looks completely different
Wow.
because it captures the soul, captures what that person sees. And when you see the world through different eyes, that's what you're capturing, the feeling of it. Like I have a tendency when I take
Mhm.
photos, I capture metaphysical things. Like I'm
Mhm.
always finding orbs, I'm finding fairies, I'm finding all kinds of wild things. And people are like, I'm like, you don't get those in your photos? And they're like, oh.
Where's your
Like,
orb?
I'm like,
What do you mean?
I have a whole collection of these amazing photos, and people are like, how did you see that? So yeah, it's how we see the world. We're capturing that. It's so cool.
It's so true. Yes, it is. And it's our set of filters that we get to cultivate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. How fascinating. Geez. Well, where will you be on the 9th?
I'm still here. So I'm
Okay.
around. I don't leave until the 14th. I fly out.
Okay.
So yeah, I would very much love to be part of this launch. And what I'll do is I'll get all your information and we'll have all the links below so
Hmm.
that anyone who wants to be part of this launch, they can be part of it and be part of this beta test and uh, and get everything going. I'm really excited for this and. I know that this is something that people need very much to
Yes.
really connect with others with the talents that they need help with. So,
Yeah, I'm the closer we're coming to this alpha launch, the more I realize I really bit a big piece out of what I wanted to do. Like, wow, I'm really feeling the impact of this because it's a big project. It's a lot of responsibility, and
yeah,
I'm really trying to not focus on that too much as just to get the to-dos done. Like, just do this
right,
today, do that tomorrow, and not think about because I'm really overwhelmed in a good way
right.
about this. I
It's a
just
lot.
but the thought of being connected to connecting so many amazing great people is just so exciting. And I've just been in this state of development for so long. It's like, oh, now this is going public. It's a different state of being too that I have to get accustomed to.
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah,
there's a different person. I shouldn't say personality, but there's a different energy in
yeah,
building and
yeah,
creating as it
yeah.
is to launching and then maintaining.
And this is a stage for the mentors. It's not a stage for the team. It's not a stage for the company. It's not a stage
Right.
for me. And so that calms me down again because I'm like, oh, this is not my stage. This is the stage for the mentor, so I can kind of relax. I can stay
Yeah.
in my building,
Right.
house. I love my building house.
So I'm curious because you call it an alpha versus
Yep.
I've always heard the term beta. Where did
That comes after
alpha?
alpha.
Oh, is that what it is? Because
Yes.
I didn't want to create
Alpha,
any
beta.
confusion.
So beta is when we go public. We do the public launch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
So
okay,
the alpha is the closed launch. So it's not open to the public. You need
okay.
an invite. And then you get to look at it and investigate it with us. And you're basically the first, you're the ground, the first wave to hit it in private mode, in alpha mode.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I'm
then
really excited to see this. And is there anything that we didn't talk about or we didn't mention that we need to add before we close this up?
no, just thank you for having me on. I love talking about this. I think we need to talk much more about this. And I'm excited to hear about your journeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't wait for you to sign up as a mentor and then just give me feedback. That's going to be the most exciting experience for me.
Oh, I can't wait. So, gonna talk to you as soon as we stop recording.
Okay. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thank you so much. And findyourmentor.com, correct?
Yes,
Coming
correct.
soon.
Coming soon. And until then, contact me at Sophia at findyourmentor.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks.